down and the pilot has been arrested. We don't have any information, and the investigations are still going on, and all the military officials are doing their job in order to give us the details with regard to the Israeli aggression this dawn. Mr. Al-Muallam from Al-Thawra newspaper, the Syrian people are frustrated because of the Israeli aggression. As you know, there is a crisis in Syria. Some analysts are saying that Syria, if Syria has not reacted, so it would be Syria would be in very bad situation. How do you think of that? This is a very good question. Now we are at the end, Syrian citizens, and we are all in an anger situation and frustration as well, and we all are. But this aggression was not new, of course, as you know, has not been new, and this aggression is being committed by those terrorists every day on the Syrians. So when we talk about the size of and the expansion of the relation between Israel and the tools, so this, I think this the discussion would be not unlogic. So now the question is, why now? Why this method? Why opening the borders between Israel, between occupied Palestine and the occupied Golan and Syria, and why all those arms and the hands of those terrorists and Nusra Front and the others? All those questions, of course, are not new, and we have to answer all of those, of course. Anyway, and very simply, I can tell you, and very bravely, I can tell you again, Syria will not give in. Syria as a country will not give in, will not accept any humiliation, and will not accept any breach of its sovereignty and its independence, not inside and not outside. And whoever is doing this such thing, he must study his options very carefully, and to be responsible of his acts. Any other questions?
هدى العبود قناة العهد الفضائية.
هدى العبود from Al-Ahad satellite channel. Everybody knows that Syria is paying the price because of its relation with Iran and the resistance movement which liberated the south of Lebanon. So for how long that Syria is going to pay this high price? And is it any way to activate the agreement, the defense agreement or accord between Iran and Syria? And are you waiting for the meeting between Mr. Putin and Mr. Obama? First of all, the options, the great options have great prices. Of course, national options needs sacrifice. We will not be, and we didn't be, and we will not be, we would not regret for one day that we talk such national options, such as the resistance movement, since a long time, since decades and years. Syria was pressurized in order to leave such options, particularly the resistance. Not today, not in the past, and not in the future, not in the sleep, and not in the awakening, that Syria will not leave the resistance movement, and those who are sticking to this option, despite of those. I'm not going to mention any name here. And the other technical details, we can discuss them, I think, and I think that sticking to resistance is bigger than of those details and the accords. Any other questions, please? we are with any international cooperation and any positive initiative. Since the first day from the aggression against Syria, we used to talk about those initiatives and discuss them. But the most important thing, we are relying upon our armed forces and our people and our capabilities and in order to face those terrorists, particularly those who came from outside of Syria. All the fighters, all those from Al-Nusra and Al-Qaeda who came to Syria came from outside, and we know very well right now that more than before that the size of them and the level of their army and who is supporting them and who is backing them and who is supporting them logistically and who is providing with funds. We know all this. We have the details. Today it's very clear. There is no secret about that. There is nothing under the table. Anything is going on is up on the table. When the Americans are talking about weapons, they say this is not lethal at all. So they provide them with communication devices in order to specify our spots and our locations and our army locations, and after that the Americans are saying that they are not lethal. This is really an irony. I don't want to comment on that. It's a funny thing when we talk, when the Turkish we provide them with chemical weapons. It's really an irony again. Syria will not be weak for those countries and for any side. And if anybody thinks that because of their miscalculations and misequations from the Arabs rulers and from the foreign countries, from our neighbors and from those who are not our neighbors, if they think that we are weak, so he is wrong. They are wrong, and they have to reconsider their calculations. Thank you very much, all of you.
Well, you have been watching a press conference coming out of Damascus, and that was the Minister of Information, Al-Zoubi, and he talked very strongly, very firmly about Syria's continued commitment, to the resistance, and basically that Syria would never give in. And Syria right now is weighing its options on the latest aggression by the Israelis. Basically, he has condemned Al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda, the Americans, Israel, Turkey, and other Arab countries, some of them that he did not name. He said that international options are still on the table as far as international initiatives are still trying to seek that option, but basically and primarily Syria is relying on its armed forces to protect the country from terrorism.